Each year, classmates select their valedictorian. This year, the special honor goes to Mitch Poole of Ridgetown, Ontario. Just a few words about Mitchell. Mitchell is an agricultural diploma graduate, now employed at Sunridge Enterprises, a diversified cash crop farm just local here, and is also offering a grain elevator and commodity trucking service. Would you join with me again in welcoming Mitch to the podium?
I got thinking this morning, our first couple semesters we had communications class, and there was stuff on public speaking, and I guess I should have paid a little bit more attention in those. Good afternoon. It's great to see you all here today at the University of Guelph Ridgetown campus. I'd like to thank my classmates who voted for me to represent the graduating class of 2012. In the beginning stages of writing this speech, I was asked what I would compare my Ridgetown experience to. I thought about it for a while and couldn't think of anything. Then one day, while planting corn, I looked back at the planter and said, "That's it. Ridgetown is just like that corn planter." The planter we use is a Kinsey. They're the only producer of corn planters in the world, with central fill and liquid fertilizer. The seed is put into 2 hoppers on the planter, where it waits to be delivered to the row units. It then gets a shot of fertilizer and put into the dirt. Oops, sorry, Mr. Young. It's soil. Dirt is the stuff you wash off your hands. Ridgetown is just like the hoppers on that planter, a temporary home for us students, the seeds of tomorrow. As students, we wait to go down certain paths, like our different academic programs, just like individual rows. Once we are in our right path of interest, we keep following it until we hit the meter, or April 2012. We're almost done our journey, and we're ready to be planted into different rows or careers, whether they be in Ontario, Canada, the US, or somewhere else in the world. Once we go through the meter and get dispersed, we get a little shot of alpine fertilizer, our graduation, and are ready to grow in whatever row we are in. I remember it well, September 2010. We were all in this very gym, getting signed up into our programs and busy meeting new friends, exchanging cell numbers and figuring out where everyone was living, in res or in town. Res was always a good spot to go when we had a spare between classes. The first couple days, I went into res and introductions began. They went something like this. "Hi, I'm Mitch Poole from Ridgetown, and I live south of the Ridgetown sign, so I'm not like the rest of them, I promise." "Hi, I'm Brandon Cook, and I'm Mark Bickle. Would you like a PBR?" I thought, man, I'm liking this college thing already. Well, a few more weeks went by, and we were full steam ahead into our learning and thinking twice about this college thing. Before you know it, we went through Christmas break, and we're back for another round of good, solid learning. Then all of a sudden, it was April and exams. We couldn't wait to be done for the summer and start working. Though we saw some friends over the summer by going on farm tours on the weekends or our town reunions at the ranch, we couldn't wait to get back to school in September and start our senior year at Ridgetown and do it all again. Some of the highlights of our 2 years here at the Ridge were OPAC and Spring Expo. OPAC is the annual winter games for the 4 OAC colleges in Ontario: Alfred, Kemptville, Ridgetown, and Guelph. Both years, Ridgetown represented our campus very well in all the games. Not everyone who participated from the other schools had an understanding of who the Ridgetown folks were, but by the end of the week, we had made a name for Ridgetown by doing well in all the sports and other events and made many new friends. Spring Expo is a campus open house held in March every year. The students organize the weekend and work together to showcase the school to the public and future students. There is a pet show, plant sale and barbecue, livestock shows, equipment displays, and many other activities going on around the campus. In January, we started training all the animals and getting all the aspects of Expo figured out, and come March, we had one of the best turnouts ever. On the Saturday night, we ended it off with a formal banquet and dance. It was an awesome weekend and great to see all our hard work paid off. Many other events over the last year bring back great memories. There were our pubs that featured Dry County and the River Junction Band. These were big events that had fundraising success and made things like Spring Expo possible. We also held a Movember auction and a Valentine's auction as fundraisers put on by Student Council. We raised money for charities like the Canadian Cancer Society to support the prostate cancer research. These were always interesting events to participate in, especially when everyone threw in enough money to shave Mitch Poole's head. Man, there's nothing scarier than 4 girls coming at you with razors from each direction. The pubs we had were always a large time. Every pub had a theme. And with themes like Tight and Bright and Redneck Pub, you can just imagine what we dressed up like. There were lots of memories made that we can or maybe can't share from those pubs. Here we are today, the day we worked so hard to get to over the last 2 years. What a good feeling. Some of us are going to school again in the fall, but most of us are done and starting into our careers. There are some things we will miss, and there are some things we will not miss. We won't miss the quizzes, the midterms, projects, or exams. No more late night study sessions, and no more 8 a.m. classes on a Friday morning after a pub. The things we'll miss include the Sunday nights when everyone returned back to the Ridge, sharing our stories about what happened on the weekend at home, going to OPAC, putting on Spring Expo, and 3 a.m. craft dinner parties at the Den after the Arlington. The friends we made here are special, and whatever program you were in, we all met new folks who became our friends. These friends would do anything for you, get you notes for the class you couldn't make, give you a spot to stay if you needed it, and on certain occasions, they would even drive to Chatham to pick you up and make sure you made it to your 9 o'clock class. Treasure these friendships, and I hope many of these friendships will be lifelong. One thing I noticed about the class of 2012 is that we were vocal. Whenever something came up that affected us as a student body, we were not afraid to voice our opinion. I think that this is a very important quality for people to have, and that we need to continue to voice our opinions for what we feel is right, and we need to do it in the right way and make sure it is heard loud and clear, and don't back down. Sometimes things aren't the way they seem. I'm sure many of you will relate to my personal experience with farm or business project class. As I looked at the task ahead of me in this course, I felt a really big headache coming on. But this turned out to be one of my favorite courses. This course was taught by Mr. Bill Litwin. In this class, we learned how to put a business plan together for a farm or other business. We learned about mortgages, succession planning, and many other interesting topics. We also had many guest speakers who came to talk to us about many different aspects of agriculture. What I thought was going to be a course that I would just get through turned out to be an excellent learning opportunity. From this experience, I suggest we all try to keep an open mind when our initial impressions of a situation may be quite different. Many students lived off campus in the Ridgetown community, and the Ridgetown community was very good to us. We curled at the curling rink, we skated at the arena, and some of us enjoyed social gatherings at the Arlington and the Ridgetown Legion. Every Tuesday night, we put on our good boots and wore them out to Cotton Eye Joe and fishing in the dark. And if you buy the whole boot, you might as well show it off. Then we'd end off the morning with a 3 a.m. mac and cheese party again. The Ridgetown Legion put in Wi-Fi so we could do homework there, if we chose to. They also hosted our Spring Expo community breakfast, which was a big success. Our time spent with these folks was greatly appreciated. Within our various programs, we all enjoyed many guest speakers. During our time at Ridgetown, and for me, the one speaker that stood out was Kevin Stewart. Some of you may remember him as the host of Ag Vision TV. Farm Credit Canada brought Kevin to Ridgetown as part of their Go Ag program. He talked about being successful and how to get there, and shared some of his own points for success with us Aggies. Kevin left us with 4 points that will help us be successful, and I'd like to share them with you as my take-home message. Number 1, don't be a follower. Do your own thing. Don't assume. Be a thought leader. Be the person that cuts one swath of hay to see if the neighbor will cut his whole field. Don't be the neighbor. Number 2, see possibilities in everything. Look for opportunity when opportunity doesn't present itself easily. Be slow to give up and be determined. Sometimes in crisis, opportunity shows its head. Number 3, use humility. Talk to people who are where you're trying to get to. Embrace them with humility and seek mentors. A good quote from John Maxwell, some of my best thinking has been done by others. Number 4, don't settle for what everyone else is doing. Don't aim for just average. Average is where the best of the worst meet the cream of the crop. Aim to be the cream of the crop. Cream always rises to the top. And a little extra take-home hint, your attitude determines your altitude. As I prepare to wrap up this speech, there are some important thank yous. To all of our instructors, on behalf of all the graduates here, thank you for sharing your knowledge with us so we can achieve success in whatever row we grow in. You had an open door and a listening ear when we needed it. Your expertise is valued, and don't be surprised if we call on you again in the future. To all the res staff, thanks for keeping us all in line while living or hanging out in res, and for organizing plenty of intramural recreational events to help us keep active and have fun. Some days you put up with, let's just say, a lot. The girls in the office, Bonnie, Janine, Krista, Connie, and Catherine, thank you for always having a smile on when we came to inquire about OSAP or pay our many parking tickets or res infractions. The guys at Nine Head and Diff, for always opening the door to some of the largest times in Ridgetown history. For the boys, thank you. All residences on Main and Lisgar, thanks for hosting various tournaments, entertaining us with an in-kitchen fab shop, and just plain old letting us hang out. Thank you. A Massey snowmobile in the front yard, the engine parts in the living room, the old 6.5 Holland scrap, jacking up the Dodge and making a pool in the bed of it, the ultimate hamster trap to catch the little beasties that got out over Christmas break. Brendan, Alex, and Cody, for just being the good old rednecks you are. Thanks, boys. To our parents and guardians, thanks for getting us to this milestone point on our journey, for sending money when we needed, for listening to our situations, for driving us to and from the campus, for care packages sent with us on Sunday nights, and for all your efforts to keep us somewhat on the right track. We do appreciate all you have done for us. As we leave here today, I wish all of you the best in your future endeavors and look forward to meeting you along the way. Always remember where you came from and the place that helped you grow into who you are, Ridgetown College. Well, we made it to the end. Thanks, y'all, for the good times. This has definitely been the best 2 years of our lives.